Today I want to talk to you about cause and effect. Now you see cause and effect in the natural all the time. Don't believe me? Look out your window. Is the wind blowing? Well, the effect of the wind blowing is that the leaves in the trees move. And here's another cause and effect. You see that up there, that right there reflected? The cause of that is that the fan that I turned off a minute ago is still going slowly. And the effect of that fan going is that you see it up there in that picture. Well, you know, cause and effect works in the spirit too. Now, I just happened to notice this morning. I was looking in Proverbs chapter 3, and the most common verse that we all know, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding, okay? Well, we're going to start in verse 1, and we're going to look at some cause and effect in the book of Proverbs. In chapter 3, verse 1, it says, "My son, forget not my law, but let your heart keep my commandments." Okay, so there's the cause. You're not going to forget God's law, and you're going to keep his commandments. What's the effect? Verse 2, "For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to you." So if you want a long life, you want to have a peaceful life, well, then don't forget God's laws. Keep his commandments. There you go, cause and effect. Now let's go to verse 3. "Let not mercy and truth forsake you. Bind them about your neck, write them upon the table of your heart." Well, okay, so we need to have mercy towards other people. We need to walk in truth. Jesus is the truth. John 14:6, Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except by me." So if we're going to walk in mercy and truth, well, God was merciful. He sent Jesus to be our Savior. So we're going to walk in him. And what's the effect of that? Verse 4, "So you shall find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man." So if you're walking in mercy and truth, you're going to have favor with God and you're going to have favor with man. And sometimes that favor with man is a very important thing. For instance, if you're working a job and you've been there for a while and you've been doing a good job and it's time for your annual review, your semi-annual review, and you need a raise, well, how are you going to get that? Because you've been walking in mercy and truth, you can find favor with your boss because he's going to notice. He's going to notice your good work. It doesn't help to pray for favor too and claim it, but yeah, mercy and truth equals favor with God and man. Moving on to verse 5, the familiar verse, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding." Why? What's going to happen if I do that? "In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." Sometimes we're just not sure where we're supposed to go, what we're supposed to do. Which direction should I go? Well, if you're trusting in the Lord with all your heart and you're not leaning on your own understanding, if you're acknowledging him in all your ways, well, then he's going to direct your path. Well, I don't know about you, but I need the Lord's direction. And you know what? I wouldn't even be making these videos if it wasn't for his direction. It wasn't my idea, it was his. Moving on, verse 7. "Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil." There's your condition, your cause. Well, what's going to happen if I do that? "It shall be health to your navel and marrow to your bones." Do you want to be strong? You want to have strong bones? You want to be healthy? Then don't be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord. Well, what does it mean to fear the Lord? It doesn't mean, "Oh, I'm so scared." No, that's not what fear the Lord means. It means to reverence him, honor him. You don't want to cross him. You know, you want to do what he tells you. And it'll be health to your body, marrow to your bones. You know, if you don't have blood marrow, good blood marrow, you end up with leukemia, cancer. You don't want cancer. I don't want cancer. I'm not going to have cancer because I'm not going to be wise in my own eyes. Okay, one more. Honor the Lord with your substance and with the first fruits of all your increase. Ooh, she's talking about money now. I am. Well, actually, I'm not. He is. I didn't write it. I'm just reading it right here. Verse 9 of chapter 3. Honor the Lord with your substance and with the first fruits of all your increase. Well, what's going to happen if I do? I'll tell you. Verse 10. So shall your barns be filled with plenty, and your presses shall burst out with new wine. Well, now, you may not have barns and wine presses. You may just have a bank account. Well, this was written to an agrarian society. They had animals. They raised crops. So, if they had a bad crop, are they going to have full barns? If you have a bad crop, are you going to have a full bank account? Let me give you a little word of testimony. I started giving to God when I started going to church in high school. Now, I wasn't tithing. I was just giving. I didn't pay attention to whether it was 5%, 10%, 20%. I didn't know about tithing then. I just knew we were supposed to give to God, so I did. But then when I learned about tithing, your substance, first fruits, tithe is the first fruits of your income. And I'll tell you something. I've never been poor. I've always had my needs met. He takes care of me. Why? Because I honor him with my first fruits. The first of my income goes to God. And because of that, my bank account is not empty. Now, you know what? I've heard it taught that if you have $1 after all your needs are met, then you're rich because you've had enough. You have enough finances to pay all your bills, and you have a little bit left over. And that's after you tithe, after you give to God. So if you continue reading in Proverbs 3, and for time's sake, I'm not going to, but you'll find that about every 2 or 3 verses, there's a cause and there is an effect. The cause in verse 9 is to honor the Lord with your first fruits. The effect, you're not broke, bust, and disgusted. You trust in the Lord. He directs your path. You're not wise in your own eyes. You honor the Lord, you depart from evil, and you be healthy. Cause and effect in the book of Proverbs. And you thought the world came up with that idea. You know, scientists, they've learned a lot from reading the Word. Anyhow, this is getting kind of long. I don't want to keep you too long, so I'm going to go now. But I love you. God bless you. We'll see you soon.